What if I told you that there's a song out there composed by Satan himself? And no, I'm not referring to most mainstream music in Hollywood. This is a real song by the devil himself, the angel that was cast away from heaven. Would you believe me? Well, the piece is real, and you can listen to it yourself. But to truly appreciate it, wouldn't you want to hear the real story behind its creation? It is only then that the music comes alive, almost gets a personality of its own. The piece I'm talking about is called The Devil's Trill Sonata. Picture this. It's an eerie night in 1713. You drift off to sleep peacefully, and instead of waking up well rested, you encounter the devil himself. Such was the story of an Italian, a composer, a violinist, Giuseppe Tartini. He went to bed one night and had a life-changing dream, to say the least. In this strange dream, on the edge of his bed, he laid eyes on the devil, Satan. It's an odd situation, right? Like, what do you even do in this moment? Well, Tartini was interested. The devil offered to be both his master and his servant, and Tartini was seduced by such a prospect. He didn't particularly hesitate in selling Satan his soul, and their pact was made. Of all the directions this could have gone, the devil just asked Tartini to give him music lessons. What? And Tartini did. He performed for Satan of all beings. It was creepy, but fair enough. Now it's here that the story takes an interesting turn. After some music lessons, Tartini gave his violin to the devil. He wanted to see if Satan was any good at music, and to his surprise, Satan just grabbed the violin and proceeded to compose an absolute banger. The music was unlike anything Tartini had ever heard. Each note was both exquisite and terrifying, as if the violin itself wept in the hands of its unholy master. When describing it, Tartini had this to say.
Sonata so wonderful and so beautiful, played with such great art and intelligence, as I had never even conceived in my boldest flights of fantasy. I felt enraptured, transported, and enchanted. My breath failed me, and I awoke.
Now, after hearing this otherworldly musical piece, Tartini was mesmerized by the sonata of unparalleled beauty and complexity. As soon as he woke up from his dream, he rushed out of bed and attempted to recreate this piece, just from memory alone. We might have just witnessed the first haunted cover in history. He desperately tried to capture the essence of the Devil's Sonata, but no matter how much he played, it was only a shadow of what he had heard in his dream. In his own words, it was so inferior to what I had heard that if I could have subsisted on other means, I would have broken my violin and abandoned music forever. Keep in mind, this is a skilled violinist who had been playing for his entire life. He just said he would quit music forever because his piece was so inferior to the devil. So essentially, the song Tartini made was a tribute, a cover of what he had heard from the devil, which pales in comparison to what Satan played in the realms of his subconscious. Now it's really funny how Tartini's parents, when he was younger, wanted him to work at a church, but he sort of ended up selling his soul to the devil. Our parents really told us to stop listening to metal and rock because that was the devil's music, but it was really just classical all along. Like, think about it. His sleep paralysis demon composed a banger. Mine just stands there, menacingly. Now you might be wondering if Tartini was just a cloud chaser. What if he made up this whole story just for fame and notoriety? Well, interesting fact, the man kept his dream a secret for most of his life, only confessing up the story to a French astronomer just a few years before he died. The astronomer then mentioned this in his book, which he published after. So it doesn't really seem to me that he really wanted people to know. Maybe because the church would disapprove, or I don't know, like execute him. It's also interesting that he told about his dream to a man of science rather than a poet or an artist. I wonder why. Many people say that even though the piece is claimed to be from 1713, because of its style and innovation, it couldn't be written before 1745 at least, which is after Tartini was already sort of famous. So I'm not sure the cloud chaser allegations have real merit here. Now, the haunting allure of the sonata has inspired countless interpretations and performances over the centuries. There's even an anime episode about it. The connection to the supernatural just gives that aura and a unique place in the history of music, since it blends myth, legend, and reality into a single unforgettable piece. You can search the song up on YouTube, just type in the Devil's Trill Sonata, and the next time you do listen to it, just remember the eerie night of 1713, the dream, the pact with the devil, and the desperate attempt to capture an otherworldly masterpiece. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, you might catch a glimpse of the devil's hand in the notes that dance before your ears.